entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV, channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on VOP TV. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television.
When I first heard VOP, I thought they were talking about me because I'm a voice-over personality. But no, this is Voice of the People TV, and you are riveted forever because this is the place to be.
Yo guys, your boy Chella. Shout out to VOP TV. I love you guys.
Salut tout le monde, Suspect 95. Là, on est sur VOP TV. On passe un bon temps. J'espère que vous kiffez. On est au Afrima. On est ensemble. VOP TV.
Don't see me like a fool because I don't do giddy giddy giddy. VOP, you don't know Stoneware from Ghana representing live and living color. Yeah, Beam Nation President. Outside with it. Bless up.
Hello, this is Milo from Ivory Coast. Keep watch Voice of the People TV. Regardez la voix du peuple, la télévision de la voix du peuple. Que Dieu vous bénisse. À très bientôt. Love you so much.
Hi guys, what's up? This is Gaze Baba. I am watching VOP TV. Usually you be told to not touch the dial, but I tell you to touch the dial and increase the volume. Like, keep it locked. It's Afro Gospel. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Shego Arunze. You're watching VOP. Don't change the dial.
My Joe, fine girl. My Joe, fine babe. Only are you, but on the Fuji was who. Yes, don't touch the dial. This is me, Dr. Adiwala Iba. Keep watching VOP TV.
The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before. In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get drum! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
Streaming on SLTV channel 26. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice. In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions the loudest.
Hunger no get tribe. Hunger no get religion.
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television. Don't just react, understand. Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more, tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count. The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight, entertainment like never before.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not flaw.
Revelation that comes,
not speed. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
From the views on the street
we go to bed empty hunger
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
Voice of the People. You can hear me now. My name is Patrick Doyle, and I wish that you continue to echo the voices of the people. Big up VOP TV.
My name is Ibifa Dokobo. Please.
Well, hello and welcome to News Hour on Voice of the People TV. I am Vivian Oguche, and apologies for starting a little bit behind schedule, was due to technicalities.
And I am Nenna Ndomdioto. Before we begin the news, kindly visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Here are the headlines. Presidency placed down Tinubu's tumble with Turkish leader.
Also, Tinubu seeks amendment to Court of Appeal Act.
Senate commends U.S.-Nigeria military cooperation against terrorism.
And Wike threatens sanctions as court ends FCTA strike.
Court denies Nnamdi Kanu's request to leave Sokoto prison.
Nigeria's power grid crashes again twice in 4 days.
Onitsha traders protest closure of main market.
Well, on the foreign scene, India and the EU strike major trade deal.
In business, Naira gained strongly against dollar.
Well, in sports news, Wilfred Ndidi loses father in road accident.
And in the world of entertainment, federal government celebrates Tony Abraham as over Sabi auntie hits 1 billion naira.
Now the news in detail. The presidency says President Bola Tinubu is hale and hearty, continuing his state visit to Turkey as planned. Special advisor on media, Sunday Diary, confirmed on his verified X handle that the president moved from the ceremonial reception to scheduled bilateral meetings with President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and other senior officials. The meetings focus on strengthening ties and expanding cooperation in defense, security, trade, investment, energy, and economic development. Presidential spokesperson Bayo Nanuga addressed concerns over the president's well-being, explaining that he merely stepped on an object, causing a minor loss of balance. The presidency urged the public to disregard attempts to sensationalize the incident, stressing that the president remains fit and fully engaged.
In another development, President Bola Tinubu has sent a bill to the Senate seeking an amendment of the Court of Appeal Act to increase the number of justices from 70 to 110. The request, contained in a letter addressed to Senate President Godswill Akpabio, was read at plenary. Tinubu said the proposed amendment is aimed at strengthening the capacity, efficiency, and effectiveness of the appellate court in line with constitutional provisions and current realities in the justice sector. The bill also seeks to restructure provisions on the ranking and seniority of Court of Appeal justices, including the position of the court's president, and to modernize proceedings through the introduction of virtual hearings. According to the president, the changes are intended to enhance professional efficiency and legal certainty in appellate practice.
But staying with the Red Chamber, the Senate has commended the continued military collaboration between Nigeria and the United States in the fight against terrorism. Senate President Godswill Akpabio gave the commendation at the first plenary sitting of 2026 after the Christmas and New Year recess, describing the partnership as vital to Nigeria's national security and regional stability. He also noted that despite economic pressures and security challenges during the recess, the country has continued to make steady progress, driven by the resilience of its people.
We now move on to the Green Chamber, where the House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee probing agricultural subsidies and intervention funds has summoned the Auditor General of the Federation, along with the Ministers of Finance and Agriculture, over the disbursement of agricultural program funds between 2015 and 2025. Lawmakers expressed concern over gaps in accountability records presented during the committee's hearing. Committee Chairman Jamo Aminu highlighted the Auditor General's failure to provide audited reports on several subsidy and intervention programs. Aminu said investigation is part of the House's broader effort to scrutinize public spending in the agricultural sector amid rising food prices and concerns over food security. He added that the committee expects full audit documentation to track the disbursement and impact of these schemes.
Well, still in the Green Chamber, the House of Representatives on Tuesday adjourned plenary in honor of Godiya Akwashiki, who died in India at the age of 52 after a prolonged illness. Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu said the adjournment followed the Assembly's tradition of honoring members who've passed away while in active service. Akwashiki first represented Nasarawa North Senatorial District in 2019 on the platform of the All Progressives Congress and was re-elected in 2023 under the Social Democratic Party.
Away from the National Assembly matters, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has warned striking staff of the FCT administration to return to work or face legal action following the National Industrial Court ruling ordering an end to the strike that has disrupted services in Abuja for over a week. Speaking to newsmen shortly after the court's decision, Wike insisted that the rule of law must prevail and accused political actors of exploiting the strike for reasons unrelated to workers' welfare. He highlighted efforts to improve staff welfare, disclosing that over 12 billion naira has been approved for the payment of January salaries, and cited improved revenue performance with the FCT generating more than 30 billion naira in internally generated revenue. The minister also urged workers to acknowledge ongoing reforms, including the establishment of a civil service commission and continued infrastructure development across the territory.
Well, switching some gears now, the military says a viral video alleging lack of care and indifference is false. It reaffirmed that the personnel or the welfare of personnel, especially those injured in action, is a top priority. Director of Defense Information, Major General Smaila Uba, stated that all injured personnel receive comprehensive medical care locally or abroad, depending on their injuries. He added that support extends beyond treatment to include rehabilitation, counseling, family assistance, and ongoing command oversight.
We now move on to this next report, which says that the Federal High Court in Abuja has struck out an ex parte motion filed by the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, seeking his transfer from the Sokoto Correctional Center. Justice James Omotosho struck out the motion after counsel from the Legal Aid Council applied to withdraw from the case, citing irreconcilable differences with the applicant. Kanu was convicted of terrorism-related offenses on November 20, 2025 and sentenced to life imprisonment, a verdict his family rejected and vowed to appeal. He was subsequently transferred to the Sokoto Correctional Center after the court ruled that the Kuje facility in Abuja was unsuitable. The IPOB leader later filed the motion seeking transfer to custodial center closer to the Federal Capital Territory, including Suleja or Kefi. Addressing the court, Legal Aid Council Demdo Asan said Kanu's relatives failed to depose to the application and accused the applicant of attempting to dictate court proceedings. In his ruling, Justice Omotosho granted leave for the Legal Aid Council to withdraw and struck out the motion for lack of competence, citing the absence of proof of service on relevant parties.
Well, in another development, Nigeria's weak national power grid collapsed again on Tuesday, the second time in 4 days and third in a month, leaving the country without electricity supply. The grid collapse, which occurred around 11 a.m., left the electricity distribution companies without load allocation from the grid. Confirming the crash, several discos informed the customers through social media handles of the power outage from the grid.
We now move on to the eastern part of the country, where thousands of traders at the Onitsha main market in Anambra State took to the streets in protest over the closure of the market by Governor Charles Soludo. The governor had ordered a 7-day shutdown following what he described as persistent disregard for the government directive against observing the Monday sit at home. The closure sparked protest after traders were denied access to their stalls within the market vicinity.
Well, here in Lagos, members of the Food, Beverages and Tobacco Senior Staff Association and the National Union of Food, Beverages and Tobacco Employees are challenging the ban on sachet alcoholic drinks. They are asking NAFDAC to provide proof that children are consuming the products. The unions held a protest at NAFDAC's Lagos office on Tuesday, now in its third day. National president of the association, who is also the deputy president of the Trade Union Congress, Jimo Ibo, dismissed claims that sachet alcohol fuels underage drinking, saying there is no supporting data. He also questioned why sachet alcohol was singled out, pointing to adulterated bottled wine and spirit as a greater health risk.
Joining us virtually on News Hour to discuss the ban on sachet alcoholic drinks are Jimo Oyibo, Deputy President of TUC, and Age Augustine, stakeholder TUC member. Glad to have you join us, sirs.
Good evening.
Good evening. Glad to have you join us.
Yeah, we are here. Good evening, VOP.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so let's start with this. Why is the association challenging the ban on sachet alcoholic drinks? We've seen NAFDA come out to say the reason for the ban is as a result of children intake. So why is the association actually confronting this or opposing this ban?
As a body, I will first of all want to clarify this fact. we are not opposing NAFDAC regulation. And as a body also, we support the mandate of NAFDAC to protect public health. That is very, very sacrosanct. But the reason why we're against this ban is very clear. Disruption of millions of livelihoods is going to happen. Erosion of existing investments is also going to take place. In fact, another issue is risk to social and economic dislocation. These are the things that will happen when this ban is enforced. And it will also push consumers towards unregulated and potentially dangerous alternatives. And this we don't want to happen.
So I understand that your grouse is largely economical, right? That's what I hear you say. But NAFDAC has come out to say that this is not just happening, that they've been in consultation with you and your organization for over 5 years, and that this is not something new, and that you were asked to rethink your financial strategy. Would you say you didn't really do what NAFDAC said during your consultation to rethink your business strategy?
I think I will have to leave that to the national president to answer.
Okay.
But what I would say clearly is that, yes, there have been consultation with the employers. We are workers' representative. If there have been consultation with the employers, fine, it's going to take time for such implementation. And the one thing we must get clear also is that abuse, pack size, there are two different things. Alcohol abuse is a social and health issue. It's not about pack size. That is what I have to say about that first and foremost.
What we're talking about pack size, NAFDAC has actually said that the content or the volume of alcohol in some of the sachet alcoholic drinks are actually 3 times more than what we find in bottled drinks. Don't you think that is the case here?
If NAFDAC is saying that, that means they have not actually done their own work. These products are regulated. I hear the NAFDAC DG saying that the concentration of ethanol in sachet is between 50 to 95%. So if that is what they have been approved, that means the DG is so disconnected from what the tenet of NAFDAC regulation.
All right, Jimo,
now,
okay.
It's just about pack size. Okay, if Jimo is up, maybe you can
please
just
continue.
respond to that.
Continue, please. Land on your thoughts
Okay.
before we go to Jimo. Yeah.
Okay. Now, what I was saying is that 50 to 95%, that is what the NAFDAC DG was saying, that is inside the sachet, which is not correct. The difference is just the pack size. What is in 75 cl bottle or 37.5 cl bottle, 20 cl bottle, 10 cl, and even the sachet is the same content, the same concentration of ethanol. And based on regulation, except globally, what NAFDAC regulates is not more than 45%. And most of this sachet, if it is gin, for instance, is 43%. For other, let's say between the range of 28 to 43%. That is what we have in most of this alcoholic content, whether in sachet, whether in bottles. So that assertion or that narrative is very, very wrong.
All right, Jimo.
Because they are not adulterated products.
All right,
Okay.
Can I come to Jimo? Jimo, thanks for joining us. I'd like to know if you have anything to add to what your colleague has said. Also, I understand that yourself and your group are not just protesting alcoholic beverages in sachet containers, but you're also protesting the ban on alcoholic beverages in PET bottles and glass bottles below 200 ml. If you can explain that a little bit and then tell us what your major grouse is. Can you hear me, Jimo? Jimo, unmute your device, please, so we can hear you clearly. Unfortunately, we can't hear Jimo, so I think we'll go back to our respondent. So can you please tell us the economic or social impact that this ban has had on your industry so far? I know you said it is largely economical, but let's go human angle a little bit. Could you give us instances of how this has affected family members? Are people going hungry? Are people going homeless? If you could address that a little bit. I'm talking to a respondent that we've been talking to. If you can unmute your device and let's talk. All right, we'll take a short break. When we come back, News Hour continues. Stay with us.
In a world where power shifts with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing.
And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
Mr. Ofamiloni, and here's to VOP TV. Keep watching, stay tuned, do not touch that dial.
Arara, my name is Made Kuti, and you're watching VOP TV. Keep watching.
Welcome, my name is Zika Davis. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, boys, viewers, everybody, boys and girls. This is VOP TV. Do you know what that means? Voice of the People TV. You don't have a voice, don't come here. You better make sure your voice is heard.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television. VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice. In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe. Hunger no get religion.
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues.
We are still taking a look at the ban on sachet alcoholic drinks. And right now, Ejo Augustine, who is a stakeholder and TUC member, joins us again. Ejo, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. I don't know if you can hear me clearly, because I would love to hear you clearly. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you very clearly.
Fantastic. So I was asking, right, you've explained to us that your grouse against NAFDAC is largely economical. So I was asking that, is there any family members of your association who have gone homeless or hungry because of this ban on alcoholic beverages in sachets?
Yes, the effect is immediate and very significant because it's direct loss of job. So whether you like it or not, about 5.5 million people are going to be out of job. So it is a very significant issue. The implication is grievous. People will lose job, investment will be eroded. So it's huge. It's not something we are toiling with because the value chain is very, very long. It's not just the manufacturer of the products, the value chain, the packaging, the transporter, the retailer, the distributors, their investment will be eroded. So it's direct and significant.
Okay, let me come to you.
As I talk to you now, okay.
No, go ahead, please.
Go ahead, please.
You can complete your thought or conclude on your thought.
Yes, I was trying to say that as we speak now, when you see people outside or workers outside protesting, it's based on anxiety and instabilities because people are already, there is apprehension, so to speak, because of the enormous effect of this policy that NAFDAC is trying to bring on board.
Okay, while you were talking, you said 5 million workers or 5 million persons have been affected as a result of this ban. But I want to know first what your source is. How did you get to this? How did you get this number? What's your source? That's one question. The other aspect is, okay, with this consequence or with this repercussion of the ban, are there changes of practice that you want to see instead of a complete ban?
I didn't quite get that. It was breaking, so I didn't get.
So my first question is, you said 5 million workers. Can you hear me right? Well, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you now.
While you were speaking.
Yes, I'm hearing you clearly now.
While you were speaking, you said 5 million persons have been affected by this ban. And I'm asking that what is your source? What is the source of this number? That's one question. Then on the other hand, I'm also asking, with this repercussion or with this, of the ban, what change the alternatives would you like to see or would your union like to see instead of a complete ban of this sachet and pet drinks?
Now, when we say 5 million or 5.5 to speak, so to speak, it's cut across the value chain. Now, 500 will be from direct employment from these alcoholic beverage companies. Now, the others, they are distributed along the value chain. It's just an estimation. Are you getting me now? Now, when I started speaking, I talk about value chain, including the manufacturer of the packaging materials. They have employees in that sector. Is it the ethanol production companies? They have employees in those companies. Is it the distributors? They have employees. Is it the retailers? So it's so to speak an estimation based on industry estimation. Now, the second question, maybe you can recap it again for me, please.
So the second question is, with this, what changes, alternatives would you like to see instead of a complete ban of these sachet and pet alcoholic drinks?
Now, the one thing that we must understand, a lot of products I'll just digress a little bit. A lot of products, even whether the other companies like detergents, milk, they are all in sachets. Some of them are in sachets. Now, why? It's for economic reason, affordability. That is the reason why you have sachets. And over the years, it has been regulated by NAFDAC. Do you understand? Now, what alternatives are we looking at? Fine. Affordability is not equal to abuse. I think that is where NAFDAC is taking it. Affordability does not mean it's abuse, because you are saying
Are you still with us?
100 mil because people have asked that. Now, can you hear me, please?
Please go ahead. We can hear you.
Hello.
We can hear you loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Now, what we're saying alternative is it has to do with more of advocacy, public awareness campaign that is vigorous, so that people will know the labeling. Already, if you look at some of these labels, it is written, people that are below 18 years should not drink this product, and they should drink responsibly. These are some of the advocacy that in collaboration with NAFDAC that this company has been doing. But what we feel is that we could make it more vigorous. We could take it to schools, youth education programs, public awareness campaign, enforcement of regulation, so that people will not have, underage people will not have access, because that is what NAFDAC is hammering on, that people that are little children, they have access. We've not been able to get empirical data to that fact. But despite that, the industry is always ready out there to support NAFDAC in terms of regulation. So it has to be intensified. That is what we are looking at. It is not outright ban because of the economic implication. Fine, we are concerned about the health of the citizens, but when there is awareness,
Oh, we seem to have lost some connections with him. We'll take another break now.
young people or the young too, they are also with this. So these are some of the things that we are looking at.
Well, Ejo, you said accessibility is not abuse. You also cited examples of detergents in sachets and all of that. But the Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Adeyeye, has come out to say that it is not about the packaging, but the content in this sachet, right? So I want to ask, do you agree with NAFDAC that these drinks pose health challenges, not just to minors alone, but also to adults?
Now, when you say content, if you are banning sachets and you are hinging it on content, what about the bigger sizes? Don't they have alcoholic? Don't they contain alcohol?
That's a good question.
So I don't see.
Yeah.
They contain alcohol also. Do you understand? I think she is missing it up to say that the one in sachets. In fact, to the extent to say we got some people saying it is poisonous. No, these are regulated products. They don't just come out to the market without NAFDAC approval. And they have their guidelines to say this product, whether in sachet, what differentiates them, whether in the big size, I said this earlier, it's just the pack sizes. The content are the same.
But can I ask you,
so if you're not saying you are abandoning,
can I ask you,
okay.
How easy is it for a child to have access to alcoholic beverages in sachet compared to a child having access to alcoholic beverages in a big bottle? How easy is it?
I wouldn't say that it is fine because it is in sachet. We can assume that, oh, they will have access to it. Now, all this starts from even the home front.
Mm-hmm.
The home front speaks a lot of value. You know, what is the value from the home front? You can even see some parents sending their children to go and buy all these things, which is not supposed to be. Because NAFDAC is already regulated, it's a regulated product, and it is clearly stated on the labels, on the packaging material, that people or children that is below 18 should not take it.
These issues you've just raised.
Yes, because, you know, sensitization, we can't take it away from all this discussion because it's the major point, sensitization. If you look at other, like tobacco, for instance, you can't tell me that children might not have access to tobacco, for instance, because it is being sold on the streets. So, but everything is about sensitization. Advocacy, letting them know the implication for children not to indulge in alcohol. So it's about bringing the stakeholders, the NAFDAC. How are we going to go about this? So that we'll be aware of the implication, because it's about the children. I have children. I wouldn't want my children to be exposed to alcohol, whether in pack size, whether in small pack sizes or in big pack sizes at underage. So it's about sensitization and taking it, letting even the parents know the implication of all this. So in terms of quality, in terms of meeting specification as stated by NAFDAC, it is in this product meets specification. They are not counterfeit products. They are not prohibited products. Neither are they fake products.
Okay, before we let you go, how do you hope the government will respond to your challenge of you opposing or challenging this ban?
Yeah, because from the earlier discussion with the National Assembly, the stakeholders are supposed to go back, you know, even as a nation, to come out with a national alcohol policy in the first place, because that's the beginning of the process. As a nation, what do we really want in terms of alcoholic beverage consumption? Do we have that? So it's about collaboration.
Collaboration between the authorities and your employees, your employers as well as the employees. Is that what you're saying?
You know, now civil on how we can move forward.
All right. So my final question to you, I don't know if Nina has more, but question is, are you going to continue with the protest until your demands are met by the authorities? Can you hear me, Ejo?
I didn't hear you.
Your protest, the ongoing protest, is it going to continue until NAFDAC caves in to your demands?
Yes, it's going to continue because the workers, their jobs are threatened. The investment is about to go down the drain. You know, one thing that they don't also know is what this industry
Well, unfortunately, we've lost contact with Ejo Austin. I hope I got that right. But we've been taking a look at the ban on alcoholic beverages, especially those in sachet containers. We'll take a short break. When we come back, News Hour continues. Stay with us.
Glad to have you back. Police have arrested a 28-year-old man in Delta State over the alleged killing of his close friend following a dispute over proceeds from internet fraud. The incident reportedly stemmed from a fallout over a stalled online fraud deal, raising concerns about the dangers of cybercrime among youth. Investigations into the fatal confrontation are ongoing. Correspondent Rhoda Journey tells us more.
A 28-year-old man, Ogene Dare, has been arrested by the Delta State Police Command for allegedly killing his friend, 25-year-old Courage, following a dispute over internet fraud activities. Both men were reportedly involved in online fraud, commonly known as Yahoo operations, and the conflict began when Courage logged Ogene Dare out of a fraud job worth nearly $1,000, escalating into violent confrontation that left Courage dead. The Delta State Police Public Relations Officer, SP Bright Edafe, spoke about the incident, providing details of the arrest and investigation.
Today, we are with a suspect who allegedly murdered his friend and former roommate. They went into the business of internet fraud, and somehow they had a transaction conflict. One thing led to another. He confronted the late guy. They had a fight, and they used something that looked like a small shovel or a battle axe on the head of the victim.
The victim's perspective was also shared, highlighting disagreement that led to the attack.
What did bring you and Courage together? What did cause this problem?
Yahoo work. He logged out me from work.
He logged you out from work?
Yes.
Okay. So why you come first say he logged you out from work?
They say the work supposed to pay us almost $1,000. But
300.
Almost $1,000. But in the shop they work already since. So they can't carry the work on me. When he can't come in, the work supposed to pay. That day when the thing happen or the next day. I answer of the login for man. You're not gonna give me the WhatsApp login. When I WhatsApp and login for me. You're not gonna give me the WhatsApp login. Now why me go find out go ask.
You say you belong to which court?
Yeah. NBN.
On that very day when you go to this guy house, this Courage house, what can happen?
I see him for us. When he sit down, I go comfort him for the work. And then I will start the fight. Now I take carry what he something they pocket, but now actually look it. Now I take call out the thing come outside. I mean I carry the thing. Let me take call out my own come outside. As one ship, now I take cut out which obviously my own long pass with it. Now I take use it to take whip and direct. Then now I don't know. I've been na head na touch. Now last we they got we take go go to where. Now I'm supposed to tell me na head na me cut.
How many times you cut him for head?
2 times. I mean to say whip and direct.
Okay. This is your friend. You say you have known him. Does he belong to any court at all?
Yes, I Baga.
Then you now Black Hat.
Yes, Black Hat.
What's the gain in courtesy?
Nothing, sir.
Ogene Dare, who admitted involvement in the court group and internet fraud, remains in police custody as investigations continue. From VOP TV, I am Rhoda Journey.
Well, on the foreign scene, amid growing global trade tensions, India and the European Union have agreed to slash tariffs on most goods, aiming to boost two-way trade and reduce reliance on the United States. The EU says the deal could double its exports to India by 2032, eliminating or reducing tariffs on 96.6% of traded goods and saving European companies around 4 billion euros in duties. India's trade ministry said the EU will cut tariffs on 99.5% of Indian goods over 7 years, with tariffs on marine products, leather, textiles, chemicals, rubber, base metals, and gems, as well as jewelry, dropping to zero. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi described the agreement as a big deal, calling it the mother of all deals.
We now move on to business. The naira strengthened against the dollar at the official foreign exchange market to start the week. Data from the Central Bank of Nigeria showed the currency rose to $1,418.95 per dollar on Monday, up from 1,421.63 naira on Friday, a gain of about 2.68 naira. Meanwhile, the black market rate held steady at 1,490 naira per dollar. The development comes as Nigeria's foreign reserves stood at $46.01 billion last Thursday.
Well, it's time for sports news now. And on a sad note, Super Eagles captain Wilfred Ndidi is in mourning following the death of his father, Sunday Ndidi, just weeks after leading Nigeria to third place at the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. Sunday Ndidi, a retired military officer, died on Tuesday after a road accident in the Munede Delta State. He was rushed to a hospital in Agbo, where he was later confirmed dead. Besiktas Ndidi's Turkish club, confirmed the news in a statement. Ndidi, one of Nigeria's top football experts, continues to play a key role in the national team.
And finally, in entertainment, the Nigerian government has congratulated actress Toyin Abraham after her new movie, Over Sabi Aunty, grossed 1 billion naira in Nigerian cinemas. The Nigeria Film Corporation described the milestone as another strong signal of progress for the nation's creative economy. Managing Director Ali Nuhu said the achievement places Abraham among filmmakers whose work connects culturally with audiences while demonstrating strong commercial success in a competitive market.
Well, that's how we wrap it up today on News Hour. But before we go, a quick look at the headlines. We told you that the presidency has played down Tinubu's stumble with a Turkish leader.
Also, Tinubu's 6 amendments to Court of Appeal Act.
Senate commends U.S.-Nigeria military cooperation against terrorism.
Wike threatens sanctions as court ends FCTA strike.
Also, court denies Anambra Kanu's request to leave Sokoto prison.
Nigeria's power grid crashes again, twice in 4 days.
And Onitsha traders protest closure of main market.
On the foreign scene, India and EU strike major trade deal.
Well, in business news, we told you that the Naira has gained strongly against the dollar.
In sports, Wilfred Ndidi loses father in road accident.
Well, in the world of entertainment, the federal government celebrates Toyin Abraham as Over Sabi Aunty hits 1 billion naira.
Do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel. On YouTube, we are Voice of the People Television, and on other social media platforms, we air at VOP TV Live. If you witness news happening near you, we want to hear from you. Send your eyewitness report, event coverage request, photos or videos directly via WhatsApp to 0814-606-4057. You can also reach our newsroom by email at news@vop.ng. I am Nenna Ndongdioto.
And I am Vivian Oguche. Thank you for watching.
VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice. Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on VOP TV. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television. Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe. Hunger no get religion.
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand.
In a world where power shifts with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing.
And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world, because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as they hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before. Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice. Now, you have more than a voice.
Well, good morning and welcome to VOP this morning. A beautiful Tuesday it is in the month of January. And today's the 27th day, am I correct? 27th, yes, so it's the 27th day in the month of January. And we welcome you to VOP this morning. Now let's take you through what the conversation would be for today. Amnesty, First of all, we'll be touching on insecurity. Well, insecurity deepens as Amnesty International faults federal government over fresh northern bandit attacks. President travels abroad. Reps splits. Governors cry foul. Civil society demands probe into illegal alteration. That's talking about the tax law scandal. And also, NLC, FCTA staff besiege court as Wike faces removal, demands for his removal. Well, these are the major conversations on our table this morning, and we'd like for you to come along with us as we dissect them all.
Well, good morning and thanks for joining us. I am Chukwuma Okoro. Now, it's Moses Humphrey, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I was just asking if I said my name. Okay.
Now, those are the major topics of discussion, but we also have other interesting trending stories that we'll talk about in the course of the program. Jane, good morning.
Good morning. Looking very sharp this morning.
Thank you.
Good morning, Moses.
Good morning to you, Jane.
And thank you so much for joining us on the show today.
Now, talking about the other trending stories, in a bold but economical move against the controversial Monday sit-at-home order enforced by separatist groups in the southeast, Anambra State Governor Chukwuma Soludo has ordered the immediate closure of Onitsha Main Market, one of West Africa's largest commercial hubs, after traders failed to open for business despite repeated government warnings. While the governor, who personally visited the market, declared that the shutdown was a decisive step to end what he described as economic sabotage, crippling the state's revenue and livelihoods. The sit-at-home directive, originally imposed by the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB to press for the release of its detained leader, Anambra, has over time become a flashpoint of fear and compliance, with residents often staying indoors to avoid violent enforcement. Well, I think we talked about this a bit yesterday, and at that point, the governor had not ordered the closure of the market.
Yes.
It was yesterday when there was no compliance with his own directive that the market should be open, and the governor now slammed, that closure order on the main market. And I'm like, I was trying to situate it between, I own my business, I want to go to business, I don't want to go to business, and the governor says you must go. Why you force people to go out when they don't want to go out? I understand what the governor is trying to do, to make economic sense of it all. But if you look at the human right angle of it, the freedom of speech, the freedom space angle of it all, I'm not sure that the governor has the right to force somebody to go and do his business where he doesn't want to do his business.
Well, see, this is a very sensitive
It's very sensitive. It's very sensitive. Okay, go ahead. No, you have a point to make.
Land on your thoughts.
No, you have. I will never land. No, go ahead and you have a point to make.
Well, I think I understand what the governor is trying to do, and I think at some point, sit-at-home needs to stop.
Okay.
At some point.
Okay.
Now, we understand. Initially, a lot of people decided to sit at home, and at some point, they were compelled by certain non-state actors. They were compelled. We understand that there were times people decided to come out, and these non-state actors killed people, compelling them to sit at home. If there is some sort of poll held, and people are asked to bear their genuine feelings, I will tell you that a lot of people, some that I have interacted with who stay in Enugu and other places like that, will tell you that, look, they ordinarily want to go out on Mondays. They want to take their children to school. They want to go out. They want to go to their business places. But because of fear that if you don't comply, something might happen to you. You might lose your life in the process. They have come to accommodate that fear, and they are living with it. But for how long will it continue?
Okay.
Now, the man, IPOB says, sit at home, originally, IPOB said, sit at home would only occur when Nnamdi Kanu is taken to court. Am I correct?
No, that's correct. Yes, that's correct.
But now the case has been decided. There should be another measure to ensure that, look, justice, there should be some sort of appeal. And in appealing, there should be a different measure. It shouldn't be continued sit at home to appeal for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Other measures should be taken. I see what some IPOB-related organization is doing in the abroad, appealing to international bodies, organization and the rest. And just the other day, he was given an honorary citizenship
of the state of
which is good.
Yes.
Which is good. All of this will speak in his favor when international bodies that we have been calling on to come into the matter and, appeal for his release. But the continued sit at home.
Okay,
at some point
I'm happy that I allowed you to come from this angle. I'm happy that I allowed you to come from this angle. But you said something that at some point, non-state actors, started forcing people to stay at home. Now the people got used to it. That word non-state actors, up until this moment, who are those non-state actors? IPOB at a point said, look, we are not the ones behind the carnage that happens on sit-at-home days. And they were very clear on that. And at a point, we discovered that, look, there might be some form of fifth columnist sponsored by certain governments at certain levels to do all of this. So what the governor needs to do is to find out who are those people that forced people to sit at home when IPOB had clearly said, no, we are not the ones behind it. It is the responsibility of the state governor to do all of that and not to ask people, you must come out, whether you like it or not, when he has not taken care of the fears of the people. That is where I'm coming from. And so when people say, well, and I like the issue of Nnamdi Kanu and the sit at home is a very sensitive thing, like you said, I agreed. And it is very fundamental, to the existence of the people. It is not accidental. Accidental in the sense that, well, people can always survive, but this is about the issue of survival of an ethnic group, of a race, of a people. So it is fundamental to them, and that is why they bought into the idea of the sit-at-home thing. Like I said yesterday, the sit-at-home has started fizzling, out in some parts of the southeast. I think Anambra, for now, is just the flashpoint. So what the governor is doing, and relying on history, when the governor came into office, he tried it, it backfired, it didn't work. So I've expected him to follow another track this time, and he's going back to his old ways that didn't work.
Which is the other track. The other track is following. Then he said, come out. If you don't come out, we'll close your, we'll do things. He tried to force the people out. Now he's following a different track.
No, he's not following a different track. He's still following the same track. You must come out.
If you don't come out, that means you don't want to sell.
My business or his business?
Your business is fine.
So what's his business
who owns
with
the
that?
land government owns every land.
Okay, so governor can as well
Government
come to tell
owns
me,
the
okay, you don't have to sleep in your house because you own the house.
Markets.
Because you own. Government owns the market, but the people own the stores.
Yeah, fine. I absolutely agree.
Yes.
But he's saying, look, if you don't come out on Mondays, then you can as well stay home for the rest of the week.
Okay, now,
and then it will be open again on another Monday.
On another Monday.
And if you choose not to come on that Monday, then you
see,
stay
let me
for the
tell you, the governor is taking a track that will not work. He's going to crumble.
I mean,
it will not. He's going to crumble the economy of Anambra State because there are other angles to it. The people that ordinarily don't have work, in Anambra State, how often has he forced them? Oh, you must go out and get work and get jobs. Has he done that? Has he built industries? People are free to run their businesses. See, the thing is very dicey. I agree with you. It's very sensitive, But if you, like I'm saying now, Soludo, the track is following. Igbo people are very determined.
Yes,
they are very determined,
absolutely.
especially Onitsha people and market people. They said, okay, do you know how much it takes every day from the markets? He's going to lose all of that and rely on what he got from the Federation account. And before you know it, other markets will start. There will be this kind of sympathy drive, solidarity and all of that. He's going to crumble the business of Anambra State unknowingly. That is exactly what he's doing.
Do you think the Igbo man ordinarily will leave his business unattended for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month?
They have done sit at home in Anambra there for close to 4 years.
That's 1 day in a week.
But close to 4 years.
1 day in a week.
Anyway, let's see how it goes. I'm sure they will.
You're sure they will?
I just feel that until the governments can, guarantee the safety of life.
The safety of the people. So if
which is the most important thing.
Which is the most important thing.
This move by Soludo for me is just punishing the victims and avoiding accountabilities for the perpetrators.
It's as simple as that.
I think that's just it. Once you cannot guarantee the safety of lives and property, I think you pretty much failed. And you don't really have that trust. People won't have the trust. Your people won't have the.
I told you when Peter Mba said you must come out on Monday mornings in Enugu. He used the armored personnel carriers to go and protect his own. I keep forgetting the name of that. Is filling station.
Okay.
And he went and to protect his own business. People say, look at the man that is asking us to come out. And he's protecting his own business with APC and all of that. You know, people understand the intricacies in all of these things, you know, and they will say, well, Governor, if this is what you want, let's see how far you can go.
And the APC you meant there was the armored personal
carriers. No, not the All Progressives Congress.
Let's
like
move on to
that.
another conversation.
Okay, let's move on. The detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, serving a life sentence at the Sokoto Correctional Center after his conviction on terrorism charges, has issued a stern directive through his lawyer, Nnaemeka Ejiofor, warning visitors against making public statements or broadcasts about their discussions with him. Kanu stressed that any official communication will henceforth be released only through his legal team or IPOB. IPOB spokesman Ima Powerful. He also dismissed widespread rumors that he collects money from individuals or groups seeking access to him. He insisted that visiting him is not a commercial venture and must strictly follow prison protocols, including proper identification and registration. The order, delivered in a viral video, has sparked heated debate across Nigeria, with critics accusing him of trying to control the narratives around his detention, while his supporters argue that it's necessary to protect the integrity of the Biafra struggle. When I saw this story yesterday, the first thing that came to my mind is, he actually delivered this directive through a viral video. And I'm wondering who recorded the video? How did it come out? But away from that, I think it's a good move for him to control the narrative. Even though I do know that in other climes, most prisoners of conscience actually do control their own narrative. You don't have different people, meeting him, coming out, using it as a clout chasing, which is what is very peculiar in our society. Most people would then go in, see him, hold their own press conferences, build their own fan base, and just have different things. So Nnamdi Kanu being who he is, I think it's a good move. What do you guys think? I think it's a good move.
Well, you have said a lot. It's I don't know why people would like to use a man that is in detention, that is in prison, serving a life sentence to gain traction and popularity and all of that. And well, like you said, prisoners of political prisoners like this have a way of controlling the narrative from inside, just like what Mandela did. At some point, Mandela was inside the prison and controlling the ANC. Because the ANC was a very large organization, with hierarchy, command structure and all of that. But he was in prison running the show. Whatever he says, became an article of faith for the African National Congress. And even when people like Bob Sobukwe of the Pan-Africanist Congress, try to alter the narrative, against the ANC and in favor of militancy, because ANC at that time was not really talking about militancy. There was like Nelson Mandela was that, I cannot ask the white man to get on a steamship and go back to Europe. They are already here, but we can live together. But PAC, Pan-Africanist Congress of Bob Sobukwe was like, no, these people have to leave. We have to take control and all of that. And it was a long history, right from the Jan van Riebeeck time of 1648 and all of that. It's a long history. So what I'm trying to say, in essence, is that it's good that Nnamdi Kanu is coming out to say, look, this is what it is. And when they say that he takes money for people to visit him, has it become an artifact or what? Has it become, what do you call it? Is it a United Nations World site or what? How do they call it again? This place that people visit that are
museum.
Has it become a museum or what, that people have to pay money to go and visit him and all of that? I understand that our people, have sometimes tried to, gain popularity by just Nnamdi Kanu must. During the elections, when somebody wants to get into politics, say, oh no, Biafra must, Nnamdi Kanu must, this one, that one. And after that, the whole thing fizzles out, Yeah. So, but 2027 is around the corner. So let us see the cards they are going to play with that. The age of populism, is fast going. People understand now, look, that this thing that they call, what do they call it again? That he's, oh God, on top of my head, I can't remember.
Cloud chasing?
No, not cloud chasing, that I'll remember it in the course of this thing, that somebody has to come and speak, charisma. That the age of charisma is gone, The age of charisma is gone. What people want now is, look, what have you done for your people? You are a governor. Nobody is interested in your oratory. You are a member of the House of Rep or you're a senator. Nobody is interested in the grammar you speak. How many roads have you constructed? How many people have you empowered?
But but Mr. Koro, do you really think Nigerians are asking those questions?
No, Nigerians are beginning to ask those questions.
You think so?
Yes, Nigerians are asking those questions.
Okay.
Because the senator that represents me now in the Senate, OUK, when he was governor, he didn't do anything for us, Abia North people.
Okay.
But he has done more as a senator than what he did in 8 years of his governorship.
Okay.
So people are beginning to say, oh, well, we had an opportunity. You had a second chance and you made good use of it. Okay. And he's angling to go for another term, even when he had said, look, by 2027, I'll be out of it. But I hear that he is wanting to, and people are saying, well, you have done so well in the period that you served as governor. If you want to go again, we are going to support you. Some people are saying, no, it is the turn of another area of the zone to go. So in all of that, what people are asking for now is what has Orji done for us? And the scorecard is there. It is visible that people can say it. So no matter how the level of good English you speak, people are no longer interested. Somebody like Enyinnaya Baribe, Enyinnaya has been one populist politician, he's lashes on the Biafran thing and all of that. But when he go to his constituency say, well, we don't know this man. He's not been